A year from now, over dinner, I'll be talking about a regenerative business operating system has fully launched. It's implemented in at least 50 different companies. It's a big deal. It's accumulation of my life's work, literally my life's work.
Hello, US East Bridge. Laura Webb, Marcom Chair. Super excited to have another episode today of In the Boardroom with Kent Gregoire, one of our former past presidents. I think you were the first president of this chapter, weren't you?
I was the second chapter president. I helped launch the chapter with Robert Klinkenberg. Yes.
That's right. That's right. So we are super excited to spend some time with you today. So thank you so much for being here. And with that, why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Tell me about you personally. Tell me about your family. Want to hear about your business. So yeah, share a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I've been an EO member. God, I think it's coming up on 10 years. I originally lived in Atlanta, so I was part of the Atlanta chapter, and that was really amazing. Decided to come back north. I was in Boston chapter for a while. Jumped on over to Bridge shortly afterwards. Most of the time when I've been back in the Northeast, I've been living in Vermont, which is my home state. It was really great to come back north on a farm. So it's fun having this farm called Taplin Hill Farm. We have Airbnbs. It was really accidental, Laura. We never expected to have Airbnbs, but we had a cabin we weren't using, and then we that became really popular. So we decided to build a two-story cottage on our pond. That became popular. So we've had like 500 plus guests in 6 years, and people come back. Some people come back every single year, so it's really great. We have Scotch Highland cows, so you could say I'm a little bit of a farmer. I do get a little dirty now and then. I have my horse or horses, but one of them's my horse. It was given to me for my 60th birthday. Yes, I am that old. His name is Joey. Fun. Chickens and hens and guests go get their eggs. So kind of have a little mini business going on around our home up here in our farmhouse.
Very cool. 500 guests. Wow, that's really incredible. And for them to have repeat guests as well is amazing. So, do you get to meet all of them in the check-in process or do you have independent? I'm just curious. I feel like
Yeah.
that's kind of like evolved over the years.
Yeah, we let everybody check in themselves. We have really good communication with all our guests, so nothing falls through. They do check in. We try to stay out of their way. Like, we don't want to interfere. They're here, whatever their purpose may be, and they walk around the hiking trails. They get to take a basket and go get their eggs from the coop for their breakfast. They go to the garden with their baskets and get their vegetables. They spend a lot of time on the farm and visit the area, so it's fun. But yeah, it was literally not by design. A couple days ago, I was thinking about it, and in a way, there's kind of like this purpose around this farm that seems much greater than when it was initially intended, because it was a raw piece of land, nothing on it. So our driveway's a mile long, but to build this thing out, every single detail of it. And so, in doing all of that, and now having guests here, it feels like I'm a steward of something really special, and that I also have this opportunity to live in this special place. So,
That's amazing. Awesome. And I love that I've learned so much about it because I didn't know it because I've actually met you like I guess in your private this is not your qualifying business, right? You've had other business to
oh, right.
right.
Yeah, when I originally joined EO, it was commercial playground manufacturing company. So our clients were like military housing, big contracts. These are like $1 million playgrounds. And then we also had churches, homeowners associations. We were actually a manufacturer, not just did we buy parts. We had a proprietary material, still the only material that exists in the world. And that's why it became very popular on military bases and large installations because it's guaranteed for 50 years. And every playground in the market is pretty much about 5 years. So
Okay. Wow.
yeah, and then I sold that off a number of years ago now, and so Symphony Advantage, through other names previously, it's had this great evolution. I kind of think of it as like almost regenerative. It's keeps growing as a result of not like strategically thinking about the next move, but really understanding how clients' needs shifted. So under Symphony Advantage, we're known as the CEO to CEOs, and we're kind of like the co-pilot with a CEO, generally founder-led entrepreneur. So that's what we do. We help them with the entire business, bring in other resources and help manage those resources. Our clients typically are with us, like almost always, with us until they sell. Um, so sometimes we've had some unfortunate circumstances as well, where people have exited from their businesses on unfavorable terms, whether that be death, disability, or some have taken a very long sabbatical and we've jumped in to run their companies. So,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Amazing. Thank you. What made you join EO?
That's a really interesting thing, and I'm really clear about it because I remember the moment in time in which I was like, I really miss being a part of an entrepreneur organization. So, kind of have to back up for a moment because in Atlanta, actually, the whole metro Atlanta, here's this, as the serial entrepreneur, I decided to buy a franchise. Didn't want to sell it to me because they're like, he'll never follow the franchise system. And I bought the alternative board tab rights to all of Metro Atlanta. And so I had my own peer boards. It was not Ungestalt, it was traditional peer advisory and a lot of coaching work and then advisory work. And that, when I sold that off, but I get to keep my clients. It was a very, let's just say it was a very luxurious situation to be in. So I was able to give the franchise up and not the clients. And a couple of years went by, and I've got that playground company. And I'm like, I need to be around more entrepreneurs. But it wasn't so much for the business purpose. I miss being with people who I understood and they understood me. Because as you know, we're kind of wired all a little crazy. And I wanted other people who are like me to be my friends, and I wanted to be their friends. And then you begin to learn that EO is just so, so much more. And that's when I got the bite to. I was asked to be learning chair in Atlanta. Unfortunately, never stepped in that role. I was preparing for it. I made an abrupt decision to move to Boston. So I left that chapter and joined that's when I joined the Boston chapter.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Switching gears a little bit, like what's a book that's had an impact on you personally, professionally?
Yeah, there's a couple books, but I really, really like Man's Search for Meaning. That's Viktor Frankl. I had to think of his name. That book had really significant impact in the way to think about purpose and in realizing that purpose is very much an aspect of DNA. Prior to that one, I always like to share the other one because it had a really big impact. And I think the impact was even greater because I got to meet somebody that we connected really well over this book, and her name was Susan. And that was Power of Now with Eckhart Tolle. That book really kind of set me, but Man's Search Reading had a bigger impact, and it's the one I like to refer to most of the time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's keeping you up at night right now?
Well, I have a reunion for my family this weekend. I wouldn't say it's keeping me up, but it's definitely has me thinking about making sure everything on the farm's ready. I know, Laura, but without going into the details, we had to rebuild our house up here entirely from scratch, and we moved in not that long ago. So this is a chance for the family. Mostly, it's cousins who are coming. A lot of my family have died, right? The older folks would be in their hundreds or late 90s and well in their hundreds. So this reunion is a lot of cousins and other family members, and it's going to be fun to share the experience. Despite the fact I've been up here for 8 years in total, most of them haven't been here. So it's going to be fun.
Fun.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
yeah, I don't know if there's anything substantial keeping me up at night. Taxes were finally filed. I don't like being late. I don't have to be early, but it felt like I was the one dragging my feet. A couple of weeks ago, filed them. I don't like those kinds of things or monkeys on my back, and I like them off. So it seems like everything's cleared the deck.
Awesome. Well, good for you for clearing that out. Super. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's hard to overcome that stuff. So I don't, good job. So, all right. One final question. If we've ever been to dinner, then you know that this is my favorite. We're sitting here 1 year from today. What are we celebrating for you?
Oh, we are celebrating. It's a business celebration. I've had a lot of personal celebrations, but it's a business celebration. A year from now, over dinner, I'll be talking about a regenerative business operating system has fully launched. It's implemented in at least 50 different companies. It's a big deal. It's accumulation of my life's work. Literally, my life's work. And I'm just very excited about it. I just had a call with a company out in Wisconsin who is ready to onboard with it. So you'd say right now people are in beta. It's not an experiment because it's regenerative, right? It's been proven, but because it's regenerative and it's not been in the market for a long period of time, we're calling it beta appropriately. So in 1 year, we'll be able to celebrate. There's at least 50 companies using the operating system. Um, and most of the people who are interested have had traditional operating systems, had an amazing benefit out of them. They're ready for the next piece, the next evolution, help them grow their company and create more purpose for themselves.
That's amazing. Well, yay. I look forward to celebrating that with you next year.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to spend with us today. And I look forward to people learning more about you. And thank you so much for everything you've contributed to the chapter. And it's so exciting to see how much growth it's had. And it's because of people that, you know, did the work up front and started this journey. So thank you very much. So,
Thanks, Laura, for today, and thanks for all you're doing to help create this continuation of a chapter that I'm really proud to be a part of. So,
as
thanks.
you should be. Thank you. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.